Here's my tip on stress-free coaching. If you're stressed out about coaching, it's because you are reacting to the team. You're reacting to the job. You're not proactive. And the way to become proactive is to have systems in place. I was probably the world's worst coach when I started in Texas 23 years ago, maybe 24. And we're starting November 1st, I'm starting year 21. I've been a full-time professional coach. Haven't, I guess, had a quote-unquote real job since 1999. I just coach wrestling. And camps and clinics all over the nation, our online wrestling academy, summer camps. We have our own facility here in St. Louis, 17,000 square foot. We own it, 10 acres. And kids as far away from Japan flew into our camps this summer. Our camps have sold out almost every year for 18 years. And I say this just so that, you can't have that kind of growth and business without being very organized. So basically what I learned after my first year of high school coaching into my second, I got more organized, and then my third year we really started doing well. And then I thought, well, I'm going to coach for myself. Moved back to Missouri, dove in, and I just kind of took those same methods and just doubled and tripled down. Right now we have 19 wrestling practices this week, and I'm going to run 3 of them. The other 16 are ran by other people, right? They're trained coaches. So I feel like if I can have 19 teams basically going each week, I shouldn't have had such a hard time coaching 27 kids on my high school team when I was in Texas, which is about where we started off our first year. So if you're reacting to your job, you want to look at what are the things that you react to. Maybe for me it was chaos. You come into the practice room and there's no system in place. Kids are running around acting like kids, right? The mats aren't mopped. So then I'm like, okay, we're going to take turns mopping the mats. They have to be done before such and such time, right? If not, then the whole team does extra stance and motion drills after practice. Okay, the kids got involved. And you put the team captains in charge of that too, right? Because they feel good about having some ownership. Then you say, before practice, everyone should be sitting and stretching because we don't want to waste our practice time stretching, right? You take the frisbees and footballs and stuff out of the practice room so they're not even there. This is practice time. What else causes stress? Doing all the coaching. Maybe you feel like if I don't do the coaching, it won't be done right. Well, that's not true, right? If you don't think you're replaceable, just drive by a cemetery. We're all replaceable very, very quickly, right? We're all very replaceable. I'm not special, neither are you. And I have coaches who I think probably could do a little bit better, but they're famous. Their parents and kids love them more than they do me, right? And I have coaches who I think are awesome and probably better than what I could do, and for some reason we get more of a response out of other coaches when they do the traveling camps around the nation. The whole deal is this: half the people loved John Smith and Dan Gable, and probably Cale Sanderson. Half of his team loves them, half of them probably don't. Nothing's perfect, right? People like to gripe. So you have a coach that you have confidence in, put him out there. Sure, some kids are going to warm up personality-wise to some coaches over others. You can't worry about that. As long as they're teaching the drills and the system and everything's in place, that's what you have to do, right? So you shouldn't be overly over-evaluating these coaches. And let's pretend that they're not as good as you in the beginning. Give them a little bit of time, right? It's on-the-job training. Say, hey, you did a great job. I would talk louder and slower, okay? Also, let's not circle the kids up to if we need to make a correction. They don't need to circle up and sit down. Say, blow the whistle loud one time. Everybody stops, look in. On your underhook throw by, your elbows here should be here. You guys got it? Here we go. Go. Right? So that might be a correction I make with a coach, right? So I'm just standing over them, chewing on their ear a little bit. And I also understand that it might take them a few months spend a few months. You've been stressed out for years as a high school coach. Can you not salvage half of your season this year and say, I'm gonna get burned out if I don't fix this. So now you have 3 youth coaches, you have 4 high school coaches. They all can teach and run the practice room almost as good as you. Some of them may be better. Some kids like so-and-so more than they do you. They like you more than they do so-and-so. None of that matters as long as the job is getting done, right? So that's your system in place for your coaching. So you have your mat mopping taken care of, before practice. People know what they're expected to do. You have your coaches in place. Now, how about a drill plan? You want to have a drill plan, a regimen. We like to look at the most common positions and have the best 1 to 3 techniques from those common positions, and the best, the top, let's say 5 techniques and options from those common positions for our advanced kids, right? And then we take the index card approach. I no longer use index cards, but those of you who follow our maybe used our DVDs since 2005 when we put them out, our system out, and now it's an online wrestling academy. You might might be familiar with our index card approach, where I take my drill plan and I divide it up into 3 to 5 to 6 index cards, depending upon how long my practice plan is. It depends on how advanced my kids are. So I pull practice card number 1 out from Monday. Practice card number 2 comes out Tuesday, right? Now I just print off my technique list and I just keep a sticky note on my clipboard, and it says, Wednesday we had leg riding offense and leg riding defense. However, we only got through technique number 1 and 2. Technique 3 through 6 we didn't get through. So tomorrow I'm going to look at mine and think, oh yeah, that's right. We have to review our leg riding defense, and we didn't get to review those last 4 techniques from there. And after that, we're going to get back to our hand fighting to the legs practice, and then the next day would probably be secondary attacks. You just rotate through your drill plan. They don't have to drill everything every day, right? We don't have 9 hours. So I would rather pick one section and demolish that section. Maybe go 2 to 3 minute goes. So it depends. If it's a down block go behind, they don't need to drill that for 3 minutes. But if it's a leg riding counter, it might take 40 seconds to do 1 rep, right? So you figure, they're going to get 4 to 9 minutes of drill time on each technique. We like to do 1 walkthrough. Even if they don't need it, I always give a walkthrough. Boom, we go. So now you have a drill plan in place, and you focus on the common positions, right? You probably are going to have 2 drill plans. One will be for your beginners in your high school room or your youth room, and then you have an advanced drill plan, right? So that's the importance of having more than one coach. Now the senior who's ranked number 2 in the state doesn't have to sit there and practice doing drop steps and half Nelson counters, right? Those kids are over in a corner or in the cafeteria where the mats are rolled out. So now you have your practice plan in place. You have your whole routine in place. How about getting the gear handed out and organized? Maybe go to social media, email your buddies, say, I'm an unorganized mess. This is stressful. I hate dealing with singlets, and I don't want to do it. I have a hard time collecting. I got robbed last year. We lost $1,000 worth of backpacks. What do? Just reach out to other people, right? I don't have this problem because we don't have a team. We're just an academy. I sell everything to my kids at cost. So, if a pair of fight shorts cost me $18, they cost the kids $18, right? But you have gear and a budget, and your athletic director requires you to turn that back in. So you might find out what they do. But generally also getting some girls and even guys, but generally the girls who like sports but who aren't into wrestling, those are your managers, right? So maybe you get a couple managers. I had 11 when I was a high school coach. I'm not exaggerating. I had some girls try wrestling. They didn't like it. We had girls wrestling even back then. Texas does everything right. They're a quarter of a century ahead of everybody else when it comes to sports, right? 25 years ago, we had a girls sanctioned wrestling in Texas. We just got it in Missouri last year, all right? But I had girls try it. Coach, it's just not for me. I can't be a wrestler. I'm like, hey, do you like these girls and guys on the team? Yeah. You want to be a manager? Yeah, well, I got to get you a job. Well, can you come one day a week after school? I just wanted to keep them involved because I think sports in high school is for kids, you know, to kind of save them and help them, right? I'm sort of a bleeding heart in that way, and I think it's so true. Some of these kids don't have what I had as a kid from a parenting standpoint. So I'm like, stay involved, right? Hang out with us. Half the time they didn't. Now, I did not make them mop the mats. The wrestlers mop the mats. I'm not making the managers mop mats, right? But the managers liked, they would clean up my office, all right? They would organize stuff for me. They organized the gear and spreadsheets, right? You know, at the end of the year, you make sure you give them a gift certificate. Take some of that booster club money, and instead of buying more knee pads for the kids, buy your entourage of we call them mat maids. That's what they're called at Oklahoma State still. But our managers, I think, is a nicer term nowadays. The managers, buy these girls, and if you have some guys doing it too, that's cool. Buy them, you know, get them a $30 gift certificate, or, you know, plus some kind of an award or something. That can take a lot of stress. So what you're doing is you're getting kids involved. Maybe they're kids from your classroom that you like. You're like, you know what, that kid could use someone to reach out to them, right? If they seem kind of like they're just a fly on the wall, they're lost. So you're like, hey, I need help. You want to be one of my managers? And you make damn sure that all of the high school kids, some of these high school kids, especially boys, can be little punks. You make sure that the managers are treated very well and with respect, because, you know, if you let your wrestlers treat them like they're servants, the word's going to get out in the street and no one wants to be your manager, right? Sidetrack. I would also get the cheerleaders. I remember when I was in high school, our high school coach, we don't want the cheerleaders around us, it's a distraction. I'm the opposite. We had a freshman team, JV team. If it was a JV and varsity dual meet, I would take the freshmen if they wanted to go. They always did, right? I emailed the cheerleading coach, hey, we want cheerleaders every dual meet, every out of the, oh, we don't really send them to the away events. Well, if I have room on the bus, can I take at least 4 or 5? The girls loved it. So I wanted to go into a dual meet with like 11 managers. I only had one other coach because, you know, we were a brand new program. So me and my coach would walk in. We'd have 2.5 teams, right? Cheerleaders. It was awesome. 11 managers. So now what you can learn to do is like become a CEO. A CEO has to put other people in charge, train other people to do the jobs that he can do, but that someone else could do through some training. Get someone to do the jobs that you hate, because someone's going to like it. Some people like managing through gear and typing spreadsheets, right? And you've got the kids working on the mats and picking the wrestling room up twice a week after practice. I mean, you can sort of get the idea. But once you get some systems in place, I think you're going to learn that wrestling gets to be a lot less stressful. So there's my tips. Good luck. Check us out at purlerwrestling.com if you had interest in seeing what else we do. We pretty much do it all. You can check it out.